Taurus, welcome to your in-depth 3-month review. That is your bonus reading. We're going to start by going over your board that I'm using for you and all 12 signs. That way we're all on the same page. Yeah? Starting with taking a look at you for the month of March, or number 3. April, number 4. May, number 5. Your particular power card. In the bottom row are those energies I like to look at when we do a 3-month review. Starting with the sun. Are we on point with our happiness? Do we know what that is? Or do we need to make some adjustments? Yeah? And the Tower. Anything unexpected or untowards, or frankly, insights that we need over the next several months. All right, we're going to start back here in March. Show me, Taurus, please, in March. Show me, Taurus, please, in March. Like always, take what resonates, leave what does not, right? But do keep in mind, well, parts of March, April, May will be known to you. You can more or less know what you're doing for work or family and stuff like that. But there's things you just don't know, and that's part of why we're here, okay? So, in other words, it may not resonate yet. Yet. But indeed, time will tell. What is going on? Show me, Taurus, please, in March. Nine of Cups, the Knight of Swords, and the Two of Pentacles, the Empress, the Ten of Cups, and the Queen of Wands. Okay. All right. All right. I'm seeing that kind of thing I see for you sometimes where internally there's something different for you going on versus your external. And your external is beautiful. Okay, let's make that clear. Your internal is kind of like, I've been neglecting myself a little bit. Nine of Cups, Knight of Swords, Two of Pentacles. There's a sense of personal achievement here that you've been going back and forth on. You yourself would like to exercise some sense of wish fulfillment. Something that's a little bit more pleasurable to you, a little bit more personal to you. And you're saying, I've been slacking on that a little bit. You're saying, frankly, I don't always know what that is. And also I don't always know how to give it space. So it's interesting. You didn't show me self-worth, but just in the sense of Nine of Cups, the stuff that would feel good to you, right? On a more personal level, you slack on that. You don't always find time for it. In fact, some of you make excuses, and that happens, and it's happening again in March. But it's not without rhyme or reason. You clearly have larger constructs attached to you that are time-consuming in nature. So it's not that it doesn't make sense. You know, the Empress, Ten of Cups, and the Queen of Wands. I mean, you've got a whole thing going on. You have a strong sense of fulfillment and maintaining your Ten of Cups, and Ten of Cups is like the Ten of Pentacles. It can be quite vast. And the Ten of Cups is who we're connected to. They're our inner circle. These are our inner people, family, friends, spouses, kids, lovers, all that stuff. Who do we line our hearts up with and why? When we look out upon the world, we want those hearts there, right? They support us, they love us, and we them. That's the whole gig. That's the whole point. And some of you just put your best concentrated efforts onto making sure everyone else is happy and healthy and harmonious. You know, and that's not a bad thing. In fact, for many of you, this gives you the spark of joy. It gives you lots of good energy, and it in turn feeds you back, and it's beautiful. I completely understand that. So it makes sense that from time to time, you kind of slack on your more personal self, really pursuing a little bit more about the stuff that would make you personally happy, specifically finding the time for it. Two of Pentacles. So for some reason in March, that's coming up as a bit of a conflict for you, the stuff that you know you should be doing for yourself. On the personal level, okay? You making space for it. That's coming up as kind of like a hot topic for you in March. Why? I don't know. But there's something here you keep telling yourself, I was going to do it, but you keep putting it off. It's important to you, okay? So remember, while I know that you take pride, the Taurus I'm looking at, you take pride in your larger circle construct and your role in it, and it's thriving in that. I like the way that you're glowing because it makes you so happy that everyone else is so happy and in alignment with each other. I understand that. It's a very strong family feeling. It's one of my core values too. It's gorgeous. Okay? Everybody's doing really well in there. You personally, however, Don't forget that you're part of it. Okay? So that means everything begins with the self. Spend a little more time with yourself. Okay? That comes up for you from time to time in your readings as general advice. Spend a little bit more time with yourself. There are some things that you need to do for you personally. So make sure you give that the space. Because if you don't, no one else is gonna. I promise you that. You should know this. Okay? No one's gonna be like, Taurus, you know, you've really been slacking off on your personal goals. Who's gonna do that? Maybe your trainer, you know? They might know. But really, it's you. You stop and give yourself the time. I can see you putting it off, and then you find the reasons. Anybody can find reasons, you know? I recommend that you don't, because in March, there's something here you really, really want to do, and then you're like, nah, I don't have time for that. I don't have space. Make the time, make the space. You're worth it. All right? You're worth it. Look at the good quality work you put into your life and other people's lives. Trust me, you're worth it. Okay? We are our biggest and best investments. So whatever that thing is in March, you're like, I don't want to do it this year. I'm not going to do it. I'm not. Do the opposite of that. That's just my advice to you. Tarot don't dictate shit. Okay? Tarot lady don't dictate anything. You do. Tarot's the proof of choice, not the absence of it. You can be like, nah, all you want, and mean it. You know, I'm just saying. I don't want you to neglect yourself. It doesn't look like it's that big of a deal. And that's why you keep putting it off, right? I'm just saying. Give yourself some space too, okay? You're worth the love. You're worth the consideration of yourself. All right? That's all I'm saying. Let's move on to April. March looks pretty steady, though. Overall looks steady. The family looks good. You look good. And by the way, when I say 10 of Cups, family, friends, that could be one person or 30. I don't know. It's not a size competition. I don't know why people take it to that space. I find that very disturbing. I have a small inner circle, and I love every single one of them. It doesn't have to be huge, you know? That's what she said. But you don't need 50 family members to feel like you're part of something, you know? No. It's whoever you treasure the most. You've been spending a lot of good time there, and it does well for you. You're quite proud. I see that. All right, let's take a look at Taurus in April, please. Nothing too crazy. Show me Taurus in April, please. Okay. Temperance, Ace of Wands, the Knight of Cups. Oh, what's this? There's you, the Hierophant, Six of Wands, Triumph, the Magician. Oh, we're talking. We're talking to somebody, and it feels really good. I mean, it feels really good. You showed up. Temperance, Eight of Wands, Knight of Cups. I got some lovely conversation for you in April that is very healing, very restorative. It does put us in presence of mind of time, however. So fast forward a little bit in April, time has passed. But there is some strong feeling here of good conversation that comes from a loving place with the Knight of Cups there. And it feels so healing, and it feels so restorative, so much so you popped up and you're like, I love this. The Hierophant, Six of Wands, the Magician, you're like, yes, more of this. This makes me feel good. I don't blame you. So there is some good conversation here. It comes from the heart, both sides. It means well. It's very healing. It's very restorative. It's very appreciative. And it's kind of like telling you this is just what I needed to hear, because you glow so much in April. Look at that. You even got your little halo out. You're glowing. Like, that's interesting. Look at that. Look at that. You look great. You feel comfortable asking for more of this. You're like, this feels really good to me. And it does. Whatever this conversation is that you receive in April, I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know if you prompted it or someone else prompted it. I just know that you're part of it. And it's like, these are just the words I needed to hear. Is gorgeous. You're glowing, honey. And it gives you such a strong sense of self, literally. It's more of that pride in yourself, just for you as a person, as opposed to everybody gets to share from the good feeling. You're like, this is just for me. This is just what I needed to hear. I don't know what that is, but it looks great. You have such a strong reaction to it, but the Hierophant, trust me, pulls that Six of Wands back. It's like, keep it in check. Not too much pride, thank you very much. But it's a strong sense of recognition. It's the recognition you needed. It's the conversation you needed. It's the healing and or loving, restorative words that you needed at just the right time. And it's gorgeous. You respond to it so beautifully. So I don't know who this is. I don't know who we're conversing with. But the elements of a softness of heart, healing words, genuine, authentic reflection, you're responding to this. Where it's coming from, who starts it, I don't know. It's irrelevant. I'm just saying the reaction and the response. And it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. You look great. And in fact, you feel so good about this, you're asking, dear universe, please more of this. Yeah. Whatever that is, I don't blame you. Whatever that is, it was like a vitamin shot, like vitamin A, B, all the Bs, and the C that you needed, because you look great. You really do. So an A is so encouraging. It's so supportive. Oh, I like that. I'm not sure about the Knight of Cups, to be honest with you. I just know that the words are kind of like coming from a soft place. I don't know that it's necessarily romantic. It could be, but I just know it's authentically or sincerely delivered. Okay. All right, let's take a look at Taurus, please, in May. Let's take a look at Taurus, please, in May. The Fool, Death, okay, Seven of Pentacles, okay, something is no longer being pursued. That's a very strong decision. King of Swords, Three of Pentacles, Two of Swords. Yeah, there's some sort of constructive effort here you don't want to participate in anymore by May. I don't know, but it hits you like a ton of bricks. You're not going back on it either. You're saying, there's a pathway attached to you. And it has roots. It has established roots. It had a kind of particular steady progress to it. It wasn't anything that was so magical or explosive that it was like, oh my God, this is miraculous. No, there's something about this particular pathway that's Seven of Pentacles, by the way, strongly suggests that whatever this is had plenty of time to take root in your life, and it also kind of plateaued. Okay, it stopped. It stopped being profitable. It stopped growing. It stopped being any sort of sense of value in terms of time, energy, and effort spent in maintaining it and or cultivating it to grow. You've lost motivation to grow this pathway. There was a time where you used to be gung-ho for it with the Fool. Death is like, no. No. Something here has lost its service, its purpose. You don't want to put any more of yourself into it. It's like you've been questioning this for a long time. For a long time. King of Swords, Three of Pentacles, Two of Swords. That's a really strong dialogue that we would have with ourselves about, is there any more point to me putting anything else into this? It's very realistic dialogue. We all have to do it from time to time. Is there any more point in my putting anything into this? A 2, a page, a 3, whatever. And you're like, Taurus, if we have to question it this much for this long, then I think we already have an answer, don't we? And you're like, yes, Taurus, yes, we do. But the finalization of it is in May, where it just falls down. It falls down, but like all the bricks come down, you know? It hits hard. But there's a very strong dialogue between you and you by your birth season. Do we keep wanting to do this? We keep wanting to do this? You're saying nothing about this pathway is changing? The Fool's kind of tired of playing out with this one, the Seven of Pentacles. It's not really taking a risk on this anymore. It's long past that point of risk. We know what to expect from the Seven of Pentacles by now. And again, it's something here that will not grow, that has no proof of development on top side. And honestly, frankly, it looks like you're just tired of it. If I can't even give this a 2 or 3 of Pentacles, what does that say exactly? Whatever this is, it's coming across largely as 3D effort. It could have to do with work. It could have to do with something that you've just always participated in your environment without questioning it too deeply for a long time. And you didn't mind maintaining it until you kind of saw the futility of it. And that's when it became a problem. It's like, why am I doing this? When Taurus has to start questioning their own investment, what are they getting from it exactly? It's been flying under your radar for a long time. But it kind of comes to highlight by May. It seems to be, I feel like I'm looking at 3 different subjects. Your March opening was pretty straightforward. Again, I'm going to go ahead and advise you, whatever it is that you're like, I don't want to make time for that. I want you to because it personally pleases you. All right? I can see that you spend a lot of time making sure others feel happy, safe, loved, and supported, and that's beautiful. I deeply respect and admire that. But everything begins with the self, so make sure you treat yourself the same. So whatever that March thing is, do the opposite, please. You don't have to, I'm just saying. It'll be good for you. April's gorgeous. I love that. I don't know, but you look so happy and glowy, reassured. Restorative too. Healing, restorative. I like that. And you're going to keep pulling on that, whatever that is. That conversation, that line. I don't know, but you're going to keep pulling on it because you like it, you enjoy it. Okay? You clearly benefit from it. And it puts you more in mind of you as a personal character, as your own person. I like that too. Now, May, yeah. That thing you've been going back and forth on, don't want to keep doing this. It's okay, I'll keep it around. We don't want to do that anymore in May. It pulls away from you. Even if it's not a lot, it pulls away from you and it doesn't give as much as you need from it. It's not what you thought it would be or had hoped it would be over time. All that's in there, and you're thinking about all that with accumulative knowledge by May. So what that is, you may know from this point of view now. You may not absolutely know until May. But I see it being dropped. It's like, well, that's enough of that. You know what I'm saying? And it's stuff like this, by the way, that can be so inherently time-consuming, but we're so used to it, we don't see it as time-consuming. And it could be that one of those many things that keeps you from doing the stuff that you like to do, like back here in March. You know, because little stuff like this is eating up our time, energy, and resources and things like that. You know? So it looks like whatever it is, you can comfortably part ways with it without too much of a fuss, right? And that's where we get the idea of pruning the tree of life. It encourages growth in other areas of our lives, and that's why we do it. All right, let's take a look at the sun, please, for Taurus. Well, yours is quite interesting. I like how you touched on different notes. I like that. It's not always succinct or a straightforward story, which is great. Show me that sun, please. For Taurus. Trying out a new air freshener. It's a bit much. It's a bit much. Sensitive to smells. And I'm like, The initial scratch and sniff, if you will, is nice and subtle, soft. The actual use of it, however, bit strong. I have ridiculously sensitive sense of smell. I always have. I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse. But once I get a whiff of something I don't like, we're gonna move away from that. That's why I'm not a big fan of colognes and perfumes. Let's see the sun, please. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm bringing that up, except it just hit my nose right now. Ooh. No. Bit strong. Mm-hmm. They say that about our coffee, not our air fresheners. Okay, King of Pentacles. That's you, darling. 7 of Swords and the 4 of Cups. Oh, yeah. 6 of Wands. 9 of Cups. Aw, well, that's so sweet. Well, that's good. Initially, it starts out like, what the hell? King of Pentacles, well, that's you. 7 of Swords and the 4 of Cups. It's kind of like saying, I don't know what makes me happy, but I don't know how to figure it out either. And it's not an accusation. Some people, that happens with the sun. That means our idea of happiness hasn't been fully incorporated or realized yet. We're still kind of holding on to this old idea of happiness, and we're not really making room for new. We just have a kind of begrudging sense of, well, I don't know what would make me happy, but duh. And there's that sense of, we're not exactly in a space to figure it out. So, there's the family Taurus I'm seeing here. There's the personal Taurus I'm seeing here. And it's the personal Taurus that tends to get a little bit more neglected. Okay. And that's a choice. So I'm telling you, choose something different in March. Love yourself a little more. And the thing like the sun will get cleared up a little more easily. So there's a kind of confession in there. I don't know what would make me happy, but I'm not exactly admitting to myself that I'm unhappy either. I am neither here nor there on my happiness. Thank you very much. Get out of my business. King of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, Four of Cups. Yeah, it's not a full admission, but it's not an admission either that you're not personally satisfied and happy in some ways. And that's going to alleviate some here in April. I see that because there's that Six of Wands popping up again. Nine of Cups, Knight of Wands. That conversation in April is going to shed some light on your own personal sense of growth, sunshine. It's going to make you feel better about you. It's going to give you a kind of ray of light that suggests this makes me feel good personally. And don't get me wrong, it's not to dismiss what you got going on with family and friends, which is a rich world for you. And I have no doubt a 3D world that's rich and well cultivated as well. But it's you, again, personally, showing me what would make Taurus happy. That's where you get a little lost and confused and you sidestep your own self-interest here and there. So again, it's not a full admission, but it's not an inadmission either. So that whatever this is in April that you connect to, I'm going to strongly encourage it because it helps point some of these things out to you about personal happiness elements. Now, I'm not saying this person's going on and on and on about, yoga practices or anything like that. And you're like, I'm so into that, man. No, it's kind of like, Taurus, let me tell you these things about you. Did you know about this? Did you know about that? This is how I see you. Do you know how amazing you are? And there's a reason why you're glowing. And it's like someone sees me. So when we have someone who can speak to us at a more individualized level and points things out to us, we're gonna be sunshiny. We're gonna radiate a little bit more happiness. It puts you into a place of excitement and relaxedness that you haven't felt in a while. And I love that. So I'm not saying this person's like your personal savior. What I'm saying is that this is the element that you needed, okay, to help put you back into a frame of mind of, oh yeah, sometimes it's good to think about myself a little bit. It's the communication that you needed when you needed it. It's the insight that you needed when you needed it. Okay? And it's beautiful. I like the way you react to it. And that's the kind of Nine of Cups I'm looking for. The one that you kind of neglect back here in March. Okay? It puts you back into that space of, I should feel more about me sometimes and think about myself sometimes. It's not over the top. It's not selfish. It's not crazy. It's just right. It's a good influence. All right? It's a good influence. And I'm happy that it's there. And you know what? I think it's that same kind of, oh yeah. Speaking of happiness and self-fulfillment, this thing over here in May. Do I even like this? Right? There's something about that. There is something about it's connected. I know it's connected because when we start seeing ourselves in one positive way and we start experiencing things more happily and more relaxed and with a stronger sense of the sun and personal goals, we start to get a clearer picture on other things too. Well, that's anti-happiness. That's like a vacuum. Well, let's get that out of the picture, shall we? So that's not a coincidence, my friend. It's not a coincidence. Okay. I don't know. Let's see the Tower, please. I'm a bit curious. I'd like to know a little bit more about what that is or who that is. All I know is that there are, like I said, good conversation and healing attached to it. In April, Four of Swords, Ten of Cups. The Tower. Okay. Five of Pentacles. The Devil. Temperance. Okay. All right, that would explain why you put such a huge emphasis and or focus on the Ten of Cups in your opening. You really did, not too long ago, kind of make family your inner circle once more. I keep referring to that in a generic way. I have to, because the Ten of Cups, like I said, is fairly comprehensive in our lives. But at some point back in your timeline, I don't know, last season, last couple seasons, you feel that there was a lot of neglect there. Okay. There might have been some what you call family disturbance or friend disturbance, something that hits very close to home. I see the old tower attached to you as a present day concept, and it still worries you. So it's looking like I said, not too long ago, something came along to disturb the force. And so you have been really doubling and tripling down on the quality of life ever since then. There was some disturbance there in the family dynamic, I think, in the Ten of Cups. And it was disruptive, scary. You still think about that to this day. There were some close calls in there, weren't there? Really close calls. Five of Pentacles, the Devil, Temperance. It was scary at the time. Very scary. We're talking potential loss here. Everyone was afraid of it. You were afraid of it. But time passed. And things recovered. You showed me the healing elements over difficult concepts twice. Under the tower. So that's old tower, old news. I don't have any upcoming towers for you. It's just how the other one, the last one, still kind of plays out in your mind to this day. Okay? And I think that's why I saw over here, it's kind of like a causality thing. A Taurus is like, you know what? I'm just going to really immerse myself in my Ten of Cups. Be loving, be generous with my time with them, while we as a circuit heal. Because that's still on your mind to this day, that old tower where something disrupted the dynamic. Health, finances, I don't know. But it seems like more than one person was affected. It could have been you or people that were close to you. Could have been more than one too, like I said. And it's like, I'm going to make my life all about that until everybody recovers or we're doing better as a unit. And that would kind of explain the emphasis on neglect of the self. Make sense? Because that's not a fresh tower, honey. That's an old one. That's an old tower you're still processing. And it still scares you sometimes. How close you got to something or others around you got to something. And you guys are still recovering but doing well. So that's here twice. Everybody feared the worst, but we're able to pull through. Good job. And a large part of that was your effort and direct contribution to make sure that recovery took effect. But that also meant forsaking the self a little bit, didn't it? Yeah, sometimes it's 2 + 2 in tarot. Thank you for showing me that. So no fresh towers. Okay? I agree. That one's going to linger for a bit. But I do like how in April, this, whatever this influence is, says, oh, Taurus, honey, you've done a great job. You've done your part. You understood your priorities. Don't forget you're a priority too. Look how far you've come. Look how well you've done. You're doing great. And then in April, I see more of a bounce back for you on the personal level. I'm like, you know what? You're right. I do know how to make... Well, I know how to make decisions that are right for me, but also, yeah, I don't have to be neglectful of the self. Everyone's safe. Everyone's doing well. You know, it's time I started living life for me again, too. A little bit, yeah. Anyway, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. What's going on? Did I go on and on? I did not. I still have plenty of opportunity, however, to go on and on. Yours was quite the story. Four of Cups. The sun, there it is again. Neglectful of what makes you happy. You kept an eye on it. Like I said, it's neither an admission or an admission. It's it's kind of like saying no contest. I'm not going to divulge details, but no contest. No, I have not been the happiest Taurus, okay? As discussed. It really is that sense of personal endeavors and happiness and wish fulfillment need to be set aside. And I think you got used to setting aside In other words, setting yourself aside. You got used to it. You got accustomed to it. It's time, they're pointing out to you, that you can get back with yourself now. All right? And it starts with March and little things. It is the little thing. It is a little thing. But it could mean a lot to you. So give yourself that. All right? But yeah, no. We've been holding back from this idea of happiness, not wanting to look at it too much. It's kind of like my personal happiness doesn't matter. Excuse me. Spam is out of control. I wear this for a reason. I know it's annoying, but I need to have it on. And I think, honey, things are a lot safer for you now. The problems have cleared up a little bit more. I don't think it's perfect, no, but it's time. It's kind of time for you to remember you. All right? Okay. Five of Wands, King of Pentacles, and the Nine of Wands. You've been very restrictive and very hard on yourself. You've been very hard on yourself. I saw that. Over here, I'm seeing it here too. Again, I want you to start giving yourself permission to start thinking about you as a person. Okay? That does not mean you completely lose your role in the Ten of Cups and your contribution there. But it does mean that you remember everything begins with the self. Particularly how you use your time, energy, and effort. If you don't take care of you, you cannot take care of others, and that's how that really works. Okay? A lot of people rely on me. But if I don't give myself the time, energy, and effort I need to maintain myself, nothing else around here is going to function. I need you to understand that too. Okay? You have been very hard on yourself. I kind of really want to encourage you to wake up back into your personal sense of self and those little things that would make you happy here and there. Because you got some big decisions ahead of you. And I want you to be comfortable with them when it's time. Because that's coming up. Okay? Now, I'm glad that that lovely energy is coming on through to help you realize that. Speaking of which, can I get Queen of Cups? I just asked who it was and said, who is it? And Queen of Cups. Okay, so it could literally be a water sign, feminine energy, intuitive energy, or just water sign. But it is loving, and I did get that straight away on the top line. Very soft heart. In perspective towards you. That, like I said, is largely healing and very sincere. Okay? There you go. Okay. Let's get some oracles for you. Lost compass, getting back to integrity, getting back to the self. Number 35. Makes perfect sense. Number 26. Gathering around the power of community. I know. I get that vibe. There was a strong sense here of having to gather around the issue, and it wasn't just you. It was multiple people. It was like all for one, one for all in the family unit or something like this where multiple people were affected. You did your role. You will continue to do your role. But don't forget, you have yours too as a person. Things are calmer now. Things are safer now. Lots of healing has taken place between now and that last tower where some shit clearly went down. Okay? It's safe to open back up. All right. But we did the power of gathering round. All right? Pearl in reverse, hidden gem, wisdom. We're hiding our light. We're hiding our preciousness. Okay. Ocean in reverse, distance, journey. No long distances, no journeys, no crossing oceans here. Just try to stay in the present. This isn't far away from you. It's right here. Okay, it's very accessible. You don't have to cross whole oceans to achieve this change. Yeah, the gazelle. You're ready for some change. All right? You are. Swift and majestic, the gazelle is. Represents change. It's time for you to change. Okay. Did we cover everything? I think so. I was hesitating on the form. It's not a gazelle I'm seeing, it's a deer. Do some of you see deer on a regular basis? It's very majestic. early morning mist, early morning mist, early morning light for some of you. Letter E. And then we have the coffee bean. Yes, some of you love your coffee, natural energy, flow state, something like that. And then we have 3 medallions. We have Virgo, Cancer, and then Gemini in the reverse, the keyword here being intelligent. Some of you have any of these very strong placements in your chart, could be connecting to, or their seasons might be important to you. Taurus, honey, this was a great read. It was very full. It was very full-bodied. I do hope it helped you. It's interesting you showed me specific elements, but then how they all tied together there towards the end, that was pretty cool. I do hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well.